Back to school sales are raging on, and the sales are really good for August, that is. Now, I want to be recommending 14 items to you guys today. Now, out of these 14, I've reviewed a couple, so you'll find the reviews, comprehensive reviews on my channel. Some of the watches I've voted in because, again, the discounts are just too good. And this list, for a change, will go in chronological order. So we're going to start from $70, that's the cheapest Addis dive we got there, and we're going to go all the way up to about $300. Yeah, we're going to finish off with the San Martin. But we're going to go up from the lowest to the highest. So please be responsible, right? I don't want you to watch all the way till the end because, hey, we've got September sales coming. You got to keep some dosh for that as well. Anyways, I'm going to have the affiliate links to the listings in the description below the video. Do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. Also, I'll be leaving a link to my collection. So it's basically one link with all the watches we've been discussing during the back to school sales. And please also use the discount codes I've left below in the description on top of the sales that we currently have. Anyways, now let's dive in and talk about these 14 watches in detail. Let's do it. This is the Addis AD2095, a compact, retro-style chronograph that wears sweet at 38mm across, 46mm lug-to-lug length, and about 12.8mm thick. The 316L stainless steel case mixes brushing and polish under a high, bubble dome K1 crystal with blue anti-glare coating. Inside, it's the Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz chronograph movement. You get a signed push-pull crown, a solid screw-down caseback, and a practical 100 meters of water resistance. On the dial, applied baton markers, a clean mini-track, BGW9 lume that glows blue and is actually good because this is an Addis dive. This easy vintage elegance is just too good to go by at this price point. This is the Pagani Design PD 1818 on a Milanese mesh bracelet. This is a 42mm diver style piece, about 14mm thick, running the Japanese Miyota 8215 automatic movement. The case carries a signed screw and crown with chunky crown guards and a solid screw down case back. Up top you get a slightly boxed, lightly domed synthetic sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. The bezel is all steel with embossed numerals, and the edge is cut into wide scallop finger grooves, easy to grab, unidirectional for timing. On the dial, you'll see applied markers, skeletonized hands, and a clean date cutout at 3. This is a clear homage by the Pagani Design PD YS027. It gets an integrated bracelet. This is an automatic piece with a fluted bezel and a cyclops date. It measures 40.5mm in diameter, 11.2mm thick, and it's all 316L stainless steel. The finishing is split between brushed and polished surfaces. Up top is a synthetic sapphire crystal over a 3D rhombus pattern dial. Applied 3, 6, and 9 Arabic numerals, baton markers, and lume on the hands. The look comes in ice blue or silver, both with that stepped rehaut and framed date at 3. Inside beats the Japanese Miyota 8215 automatic movement. This is an interesting homage, and most importantly, this is a 2025 model by PD. This is a retro-style chronograph with a rectangular case, 39mm across, 44mm lug-to-lug length, 11.6mm thick, and it's all 316L stainless steel. Up top, we get a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and beneath it, a recessed tachometer ring, framing that enameled dial. We either get it in gradient red or a gradient lime option. We get a bicompax layout, running seconds at 9, 24 hours at 3, and a clean date at 6, applied batons, and the hands that carry BGW9 lume. The VK64 Mecha Quartz keeps the chrono snappy and precise, while a screw-down caseback and 100 meters of water resistance keeps the watch practical. I love the fact that this watch nails the 70s racing vibe without the bulk. Meet the Berny AMT358MS. This is an all-titanium daily wearer that looks industrial and wears light. The case and bracelet keep the weight to about 95 grams. We get 40.5mm across, 49.5mm lug-to-lug length, and 11.8mm thick with 20mm lugs. Up top is a synthetic sapphire crystal with an inner anti-reflective coating. Water resistance is 100 meters. The dial is the hook here. We get a turban-style pattern radiating from the pinions. You get a date at 3 and a small seconds register at 6, shaped like a rotor. Inside, we get the Seagull's ST1731 automatic movement. So it gets 20 joules, and that is actually written on the case back. Paired to a solid titanium back and a folding clasp. Clean, lightweight, and purposefully modern. This is the Watchdives WD5513, a vintage-leaning diver in a very wearable 38mm case. The lug-to-lug is 48mm, thickness is 13.3, including that box synthetic sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. And you've got 20mm lugs on a solid 316L bracelet that tapers to 16mm at a milled clasp with 5 micro adjustment points. Inside beats the Seiko NH35 automatic movement with 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, and 42 hours of power reserve. Water resistance is 200 meters with a screw down case back and a signed screw-in crown. Quite the beast and quite the beauty. This is the Hruodland Pilot ST3620. It's big, clean, and unapologetically old school. The case is 316L stainless steel. It gets 43mm diameter, 12.4mm thick, topped with a sapphire crystal. You get a fluted pilot crown and a riveted cowhide strap at 22mm for that classic cockpit look. The dial is a deep blue radial sunburst with bold Arabic numerals. We get BGW9 lume. Inside beats the Seagull ST3620, a hand-wound movement. This movement actually offers around a 50-hour power reserve. Water resistance is noted at 50 meters. It's a straightforward, wrist-filling pilot watch with a fun mechanical twist. Who says San Martins can't be affordable? So this is the SN0029B, pure hard-used diver energy, 41mm across, 49mm lug-to-lug length, and 13.5mm thick. It's fully stainless steel with an unapologetically full brushed finish. Up top you've got that sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and the hardware is proper. Screw down crown with the hex logo and a screw down tool style case back with drilled service holes, rated to 200 meters. The bezel is a thick steel ring with deep widely spaced scallops and a lume pip at 12. Easy to grip, visually tough. The dial keeps it strictly functional, matte black with 3D printed owl plots, sword hands, and a hexagon tip seconds hand. Lume is retro, see-through on hands and markers, so it glows like classic green. Inside runs a Miyota automatic. And here we've got a classic chronograph from Baltany, the S6070. It's a military-style chronograph in a tidy 39mm case. We get 46.5mm lug-to-lug length. It's 12.4mm thick with that boxed synthetic sapphire crystal. The dial is instrument clean, big minute numerals, twin registers at 12 and 6, and a date at 3. The hardware here is what makes this watch stand out. Just look at those knurled pushers as well as the knurled threading on the crown. We get a screw-down case back, 100 meters of water resistance, and Swiss Superluminova in 2 tones. On a leather strap, it stays light and wearable, and you can choose black or brown dial options. This is the WM2026 from the Glacier series, and I have actually reviewed this purple watch, and you will find it in the playlist on my channel. The dial is the whole show here, a 3D cracked ice texture that catches light like frost, offered in ice blue, aurora purple, and aurora red. The dial shimmers under the double-domed anti-reflective coated sapphire crystal. We get sweet spot dimensions with this watch, 39mm across, 45mm lug-to-lug length, 12.6mm thick. We get a signed screw-in crown, 100 meters of water resistance. We get bright blue lume and a clean date at 6. Actually, the date wheel here is color-coded to the dial. And powering it all is the Seiko NH35. A crisp everyday piece with serious dial drama. Now this is the kind of diver that makes smaller watches blush. This is the Steel Dive SD1987, a beastly 46mm case, 55mm lug-to-lug length and 24mm lug width. On the steel mesh bracelet, this watch tips the scales around 220 grams, so it wears like proper equipment. So this watch would mostly fit wrists 7 inches and upwards. It's built for the deep, rated to 2000 meters, with a screw-down signed crown tucked behind guards, a screw-down case back, and a helium escape valve at 9. Up top, you get an anti-reflective coated synthetic sapphire crystal with a ceramic bezel. Now, mind you, this bezel gets lumed markings, and the lume is wicked. Cool blue on the bezel, fiery orange on the dial. Another Proxima, and this one is special. 39mm across in brushed 316L stainless steel. It wears compact at 46.5mm lug-to-lug length. The dial steals the show here though. A high contrast mosaic, checkered at first glance, but each square is a tiny geometric labyrinth that plays with the light. Broad, sculpted hour and minute hands with BGW9 lume, and a clean date tucked at 6. Over the top, we get a boxed, slightly domed synthetic sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and that adds a hint of vintage distortion. You get a signed screw-in crown, a screw-down exhibition back, 100 meters of water resistance, and the rock-solid Seiko NH35 to power it all. Now let's meet the Seestern S462. This is a dual time zone watch, and it's titanium. The fully grade 2 titanium case and bracelet keep weight to just under 100 grams, while the proportions hit the sweet spot, a 39mm diameter, 46.8mm lug-to-lug length, and 12mm thick. Under the synthetic sapphire crystal, we get bold 3D markers and a bright orange GMT hand. The watch is powered by Seiko's NH34 automatic movement and built for real use, with 200 meters of water resistance. It gets a screw-in crown, screw-down case back. Night visibility is stellar because both the dial and the bezel are lumed. Completing the show today is the Desert Dial GMT by San Martin, a 39mm stainless steel traveler with real wrist presence and daily versatility. Up top is a synthetic sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, framing that standout sand-textured dial, and a fixed 24-hour bezel for quick, at-a-glance GMT reads. You get a frame date at 3, chunky applied markers with superluminova, and a guarded signed screw-in crown, paired to a screw-down case back for 100 meters of water resistance. Inside beats the Seiko NH34 automatic movement, 24 joules, 42 hours of power reserve. It ships on a solid steel bracelet featuring San Martin's new fly adjustment clasp for on-the-go sizing. We get 5 dial options, including Dune, Ice Blue, Silver Green, and Purple Gradient. So what do you reckon? 14 watches later, which ones were your favorite? I want to know in the comments below. Make sure to check out the affiliate links as well as the one link to my collection where all the watches are that we've been discussing during the sale of the last week. And please enjoy the discount codes that I've also left down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.